about the Justice Department? Now, we heard a lot, okay, about how weaponized Justice Department was under Joe Biden, all right? The immortal Merrick Garland, Attorney General. Where is Merrick? What happened to Merrick? Joe disappeared, but I know where Joe is. He's in Delaware, wandering around in his jammies, all right? I don't know where Merrick is. He just got out of town, I guess. Well, joining us now is our go-to guy for Justice Department stuff. Brett Tallman is a former U.S. attorney for the state of Utah, in the state of Utah, I should say, not for, and joins us now from South Dakota. What are you doing in South Dakota again? You got another property there or something? Is that what you do?
That's where the horses are. So we try to spend some time in the mountains.
Ah, the horses don't want to go up the mountains. It's too hard. So you're in the flatlands of South Dakota. Now I know. All right, where's Merrick Garland?
You know, I'm told that he's taken some time off, got to recuperate, I guess, from the scrutiny that he endured. I'm told that he's working on a book deal and that he's looking at options among very large law firms in Washington, D.C. So not surprising. That seems to be the MO of a lot that, after leaving as Attorney General.
All right. If you can get in touch with him, tell him to call me. I have a great title for his book. Okay. How I Screwed Trump by Merrick Garland. That big bestseller, huge, but he'd have to tell the truth. I believe that Merrick Garland took orders from the Biden White House, not Joe, because Joe wasn't cognizant from day one, but from Ron Klain and the others, to really put the screws to Donald Trump. That's what I believe as an American. Do you believe that?
I do believe that, Bill. I think you've nailed it. I mean, Merrick Garland was furious about, not getting the appointment. I think he constantly had Trump as his number one target. And if you look back at the cases that he was, authorizing, they were devoid of the necessary law and facts to support the effort in general. But I don't think he cared about that. I think he wanted a, divide and conquer strategy among, Trump and his supporters.
All right, you outran your coverage, to use a football metaphor, when you said he was disappointed about he didn't get the appointment to the Supreme Court. Okay, so Garland was being considered, and then that did not happen. All right, so I could never, ever understand why Mar-a-Lago raid took place. I never could understand it because they could have done it, as you know, as everybody knows, in a much more subtle way, as they did with Joe Biden. Okay? Both men were asked a number of times to return documents. Both men prevaricated, word of the day. They didn't respond as they should have, both of them. And one got, 80 guys coming in with machine guns, and the other has nothing. I mean, I think I'm a simple man. That's about as simple as it gets, right?
Well, it is. And I think the American people had the same sentiment. They literally watched two individuals that had classified documents, and they saw firsthand a completely different approach to each one. And the Justice Department was never supposed to be that sort of, picking and choosing of winners and losers based on political affiliation.
Everybody's supposed to get the same. Be treated the same under a justice system.
That's right.
Pam Bondi, you know her?
I do, very well. Very good friends with her.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think she's got, she certainly has a difficult task ahead of her. And Bill, think there's 115,000 employees in the Department of Justice and over 11,000 lawyers. And many of those, I mean, you can see the level of bureaucracy she's dealing with. But I think she's going to impress people. She's going to be quieter than some of the appointees, and then she's going to come out with some things, and it's going to take people by surprise, but not those of us that know her. She's very strong. She's very smart, and she waits until she has exactly what she needs before she will make an announcement.
What does she have to do?
So right now, there are a couple of things. First, the level of bureaucracy in the Department of Justice is formidable, even for an attorney general, for the deputy attorney general. And what I mean by that is they've been given so much power over the years that it can become a battle between the political appointees and those that are inside the department. So she does have to get into the bureaucracy and weed it out, get rid of everybody that isn't willing to follow the lead of Pam Bondi and the head of the executive, Donald Trump. And that's a full-time gig in and of itself.
Do you
She's
believe that
also doing
there's a left wing culture? That's the best word. Do you believe there's a left wing culture in the Justice Department?
So I'm told that while Merrick Garland was Attorney General, that a review of donations to political candidates was 90% Democrat among the 115,000
Wow.
employees in the department.
Has that ever been
So
published anywhere?
I don't know that it's been published. I
I
think
haven't
it
heard it.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an effort to try to ascertain based on who they know are donating, and I don't think it included U.S. attorneys' offices.
Okay.
So this would be Washington D.C. based.
You would. You didn't support Gates for Attorney General, did you? Matt Gates?
No, no. In fact, Bill, I know that my name was being thrown around and considered, and I was surprised to see, Matt Gates all of a sudden nominated. I think that was an effort driven by Gates for whatever purposes, and we can all kind of speculate. I don't think there was many close to the president that believed that was gonna carry the day.
No, Trump didn't believe it either. We had Pam Bondi warming up in a bullpen. All right, final question. Now, the FBI is a mess, and obviously Pam Bondi has to oversee Kash Patel in his job. Do you believe that the FBI now, is it possible to reform that agency because of McCabe and Comey and all of these things that have happened over the last 8 years? Is it possible that Patel can get the ideology out of that?
Yeah, I do know Cash. His determination is real, and it is unmatched in a lot of ways. And what I mean by that is, I know that he wants to return the FBI to actually investigating crime across the
Yeah.
country. That's a refocusing of the leadership and regional leadership, state leadership, and national leadership. And I think he'll do it because that's his one mission. We want to investigate, root out violent crime and drug trafficking across the country. And I think that's, if they focus on that, they'll get it done.
The one worry I have is that with Bongino, and they might go right. They might try to impose a conservative ideology on the FBI. And that wouldn't be good.
No, politics is not good in our largest law
No.
enforcement or in our largest, organizations that the country depends on for national security and for, peace and the pursuit of happiness in this country depends on how that agency is being led.
Well, we all need protection, that's for sure. And it's breaking down on the state level, particularly here in New York and California. And we do need a good FBI. Good to see you again, Brett. Thank you for taking the time. We'll talk again soon, I hope. Couple of rulings here. Theodore Chuang, federal judge, Washington, D.C. He ruled that ICE can't go into certain houses of worship in pursuit of undocumented migrants. This is a lawsuit that was filed by Quakers, Baptists, and Sikhs all together. And this isn't a final ruling. This judge is an Obama appointee. He just says, well, we have to look at, how they do it. The federal, we have to look at this. All right, we have to pause this. Now, my thinking is that if ICE has a criminal warrant, they can go anywhere. You can't have a church that's protecting, gangsters, dope dealers, whatever, but you need a criminal warrant. You can't just go in and sweep it. All right. So I think that's what the final ruling will be. Another judge, Trevor McFadden, appointed by Trump, he's hearing the AP lawsuit against the White House. As we reported yesterday, and you may know, the AP is being denied access to a lot of President Trump's activities because the AP won't call the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America. So here, Judge McFadden said, no, I'm not pausing anything because the president does have the power to do this, I think. And the AP is a far left agency. There's no doubt about it. We went over the woke stuff that they do. It's crazy. So that's why Trump is doing it. It's not really, he's using the Gulf thing as an excuse. So the judge says, well, I'm taking a look at it, but for now they can ban the AP. 2 updates. President Trump is trying to fix the economy, but some believe the damage is already done. As the dollar value drops, China's power and gold keep going up. I called American Hartford Gold to diversify with physical precious metals, and you might consider that as well. They will help you secure your savings with physical gold and silver delivered right to your door, or you can set up a tax advantage gold IRA. Plus, it's tax and penalty free to roll over your current 401k or IRA. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of 5-star ratings, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, they are the only precious metals dealer I trust. So please call or text American Hartford Gold. Tell them O'Reilly sent you, and you might get $15,000 of free silver on a qualifying order. Call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. You want to get American passport? $5 million. So Trump goes, let him tell you. Go.
They'll be wealthy and they'll be successful and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful.
Couple of problems there. Number one, the president can't do that. Congress has to do that. So if you pay $5 million for American citizenship, Congress has to okay it. That's a law. Trump can't just go, I'm going to invent the law. Can't. But he wants to. Now, it makes me a little uneasy. So Putin could get that. Did you know Putin's the richest man in the world? I bet you didn't know that. Well, you will after you read Confronting Evil, and we show you exactly how he did it. So Putin could buy a U.S. passport. Now, I assume that ICE and the federal government, if this is passed by Congress, and it 50-50 on it, I assume they'll be checking people's backgrounds. But the reason that Trump is doing this is economics. So if people want to pay $5 million for a U.S. passport, and then they would have to do certain things to be a full-blood citizen, but they'd have a passport. Trump's going to take their money because he believes that those kinds of people will bring money into this country, and that's what Trump's all about. Capitalist, hyper-capitalist. Okay, the other countries that, a lot of countries do this. If you want a cut-rate passport, I looked into this. Uruguay, that's the easiest passport to get in the world, Uruguay. I've been there. When I covered the Falklands War, I was there as the British ship came in with all the wounded on it after they were exocetted by the Argentine Air Force. I was in Montevideo. Uruguay is a nice country. Never gets any press. It's got a nice beach thing, Punta del Este. Montevideo is an okay town. But if you want to get out of here, America, and you don't have 5 million, you get out of Uruguay, they'll make a deal with you. Now, other countries, Portugal, and a lot of Americans over there. Okay. Malta, I was just there in the spring, last spring. Maltese would love to have you there. St. Kitts Nevis in the Caribbean, beautiful, gorgeous, they'll take you. Turkey, I don't know about that, Turkey, but if you got $400,000 to invest in Turkey, you can get a passport. Maybe we ask New York City Mayor Adams about that. He's big on the Turk thing. Okay, so I don't know whether this is going to happen because I don't know whether Congress is going to do this or not. I'm not going to be outraged if it happens. It makes me a little uneasy. But I understand. I get the fiscal picture. Mexico. All right. This just crossed my desk. So apparently in January, Texas authorities saw a IED, improvised explosive device, blow up on the Mexican side of the river, okay, of the Rio Grande in Brownsville. And a farmer and somebody else were killed in the explosion. And it was a cartel. So the Mexican drug cartels now have IEDs. Okay. The State Department has a warning for Americans. The warning says that high crime, kidnappings, and ongoing violence between the drug cartels themselves and Americans are getting caught in it. And I continue to say, well, again, let me have a soundbite. Go. Now, I did a Smart Life segment a few months ago, said don't go to Mexico. I'd rather go to China. If I had a business reason to go to China, I'd go. If I had a business reason to go to Mexico, I would not. Not going to Mexico. Okay? Corrupt, hurting the USA. Yep. If you go to Mexico and you get in trouble in any way, shape, or form, no one's going to help you. No one. You're driving around down there, you're putting yourself at extreme risk. Not only from the gangsters, but from the cops. They'll shake you down. I am going to China because now I have a reason to go. Going to go to China in the spring. Not for long, but I have business to do over there as we expand our media empire all over the world. All right, FBI. So Kash Patel, I would have voted for him. I understand he's a partisan. He's a Trump loyalist, but that's okay, as long as he does a good job. And now the Washington Times, which is pretty good. It's an ideological right-wing paper, but they're pretty good. They say that Patel is going to launch an investigation into former FBI Director James Comey. Here's what the Washington Times is reporting. Allegedly, Comey put 2 FBI operatives, women, into the Trump campaign in 2015 to try to compromise people in that campaign. The operatives, the FBI operatives, the slang for them is honeypots, that they're supposed to get romantically involved with people that the FBI wants to know about. It happens all over the world. But when you do that to a potential presidential candidate, then you got problems. So if that's true, James Comey's in huge trouble because that would be abuse of power, felony. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know whether it happened or not. I don't know anything about it. But I do believe that this is a true story, that Patel is going to investigate Comey. Where is Comey now? He's an author. He writes novels. So I think he still lives in the D.C. area. And he writes novels. Bad guy. One of Trump's biggest mistakes was holding him over as FBI chief. And Trump will tell you that. Budget vote last night. Most boring story on earth. Passed by 1 vote. Because even though the Republicans have a 3-person majority in the House, and that'll expand soon as new Republican congresspeople get in because there have to be votes and things like that. Thomas Massie from Kentucky, Republican congressperson, he's not really a Republican. I don't know what he is, but he just won't vote for anything Republican. So Democrats are like right there. All the Democrats voted against a new spending bill. Why? Because they were told to. That's it. Democratic Party in the House is like this. You get out of there, you're dead. They'll campaign against you. They won't give you any money. They'll primary you. So they all voted against it, every single one. And that's whenever you have anything that is promoted by the Republican Party, all the Democrats can vote against it, unless it's emotional like the border or something like that. It's the only exception. Anyway, so now it goes to the Senate and the spending bill. Okay, on and on and on and on. I'm glad the Trump administration is trying to bring the spending down. Will they be successful? I don't know. Because the big spending is in the entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid money to the states, and the Defense Department. I don't know whether that will be successful. Let's go back to the media madness. So, as we mentioned, MSNBC is gone. And I believe there was one commentator who predicted that would happen. Go. MSNBC is finished. Now, this is another incredible underreported story. But I am your media guy. 50 years in January. Okay. So MSNBC is a hateful, and I mean that literally, far-left network. Everybody knows that. Its baseline of operations is between, in prime time, 1 million and 2 million viewers. It's nothing. Okay, so I said that in November, and it came true. So yesterday, MSNBC laid off 100 people. They fired Joy Reid. They fired some other radical leftists, and it's just chaos in there. But their top commentator, Rachel Maddow, did something very unusual. Go.
I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got count them, two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
Whoa, so now Maddow calling her own network, which is NBC Comcast, racist. It's not racist. It's afraid. Comcast is afraid of Trump. That's why these people get booed, not because they're black or whatever. But I'll tell you this. Ms. Maddow is about as misguided as they come. I don't watch her very much because I know what the song is going to be. Once you hear a song 10,000 times, you don't want to hear it anymore. She got guts, though. I'll tell you that. You got going on there and saying that, and they can't do a thing to her. They can't touch her. There is a growing real estate crime out there. The FBI calls it house stealing. Criminals forge your signature on one document, file it with a fake notary stamp. Just like that, your title's gone. Then criminals can take out loans or sell without you knowing. So, when is the last time you checked your home's title? Probably never, and the scammers know it. That's why I trust Home Title Lock's $1 million triple lock protection. You get 24/7 monitoring, urgent alerts, and if fraud does occur, they'll spend up to $1 million to restore your title at no added cost. Please go to HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code BILL250 now for a free title history report and access to your title expert. $250 value when you sign up. HomeTitleLock.com, code BILL250. You wouldn't wait for your car to break down to get an oil change, right? Your health should be no different. Don't wait until you get sick to get medications you might need. All Family Pharmacy makes healthcare simple, the way it should be. Whether you need ivermectin, antibiotics, maintenance meds, or other essential prescriptions, they've got you covered. Just order online and they will work with doctors who handle the prescriptions for you. They even ship your medication straight to your door. No waiting rooms, no hassle. Be ready before you need it. Stock up now. Take control of your health. Because when it comes to protecting your family, preparation is everything. Please go to allfamilypharmacy.com/bill. Use code BILL10 for 10% off your order. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/bill, code BILL10. I told you last week that Boston was going to run up against the Trump administration, right? Remember? I said Boston is not going to obey immigration law. And now there's look like there's trouble. So the guy in charge of Homeland Security is Tom Homan. Here's what he said about Boston. Go.
I'm coming to Boston. I'm bringing hell with me. I looked at the numbers this morning. I stopped counting at 9. Nine child rapists that were in jail in Massachusetts. But rather than honoring an ICE detainer, released them back into the street. You're not a police commissioner. Take that badge off your chest, put it in the desk drawer, because you became a politician. You forgot what it's like to be a cop.
Now, he's talking about Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox, who's not involved with this rapist stuff. These were all towns outside of Boston. We have tracked 4 of them. But the real problem is the governor, Maura Healey, who's a very left-wing woman. And she is not ordering the towns in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to obey the immigration law. Therefore, you got 4 rapists, foreign nationals in this country illegally, that will let go. All right? And I got them right here. We got Great Barrington, that's in the Berkshires, Lynn, Massachusetts, just north of Boston, Rockland, Massachusetts, and Lowell, up in the northern part of the state. And, you know, Homan's going to go up there. I'm telling you, this is going to be a big, big story, because Massachusetts, even more than Newsom and Pritzker, Healey up there is defying the federal government. What is an ICE detainer? You want to know that? It's a written request from the federal law enforcement officials that somebody who was arrested be held for 48 hours so that ICE agents can go and process and take that person if necessary. So you give the federal government time to go where they have to go and to look at the case. They're not honoring the detainers. Big story. USAID, that's the Musk expose. They have laid off 2,000 people. Boom, gone. As of midnight last night, Sunday, February 23rd. There's going to be a severe downside. I get a lot of mail on this. Severe downsizing in the federal government. Lots of people are going to lose their jobs. And that's how Trump feels he's going to get this spending under control. He thinks there's just a lot of bloat. I don't know. I'm not in those departments. I do know Musk is a tough guy. He's asking everybody in the federal government to justify their jobs. They should cooperate. There are unions involved, that's right. But 2,000, boom, gone. Wisconsin. This is pretty crazy. So the governor there is named Tony Evers, another, far left guy. And he is introducing a budget recommendation, new wording in the budget. Here is the wording in the budget in Wisconsin Governor Evers wants. Previously used wife or husband, changed to spouse. Previously used mother, changed to inseminated person. No. Previously used paternity, changed to patronage. Previously used father, changed to natural parent. No. Previously used man or woman, changed to person. This is insane. Okay? Governor Evers, you're a lunatic. And if this doesn't get you out of office in Madison, nothing will. You can't say, hey, Mom, you have to go, hi, inseminated person, can you take me to Mabel's house? Stupid is this? Tony Evers, everyone, give me a hand. Smart life. Americans are the worst dressers in the world. I'm sorry. So over the weekend, I wanted to buy trousers, better known as pants. All right, I got lots of khakis. I have some jeans, but I needed an upgrade. All right, a couple of pair of trousers. So I go to the store, very expensive store, because I figured, look, I'll buy quality so I don't have to go back because I hate shopping. $750 they want for trousers there. And I look at these things, they're made in Italy. And I actually tried one on. I'm a 36. And these pants, 36, could not have fit Pinocchio. All right? I didn't know. Who are they making these for? Topo Gigio? The puppet? Then I went to a bunch of other places, including Macy's. Sweatpants, track suits, no pants, nothing. It's just, I'm sitting there going, what is going on? Because men dress like slobs. Just take a look in church. I mean, you don't have to wear a tie and jacket, but just put on a decent shirt. And they're coming in short pants. They're coming in with these sweat things on. Oh, smart life. If you dress well, that says something about you. You take on credibility. Don't look like a mooch. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.